Hey y'all, JK95 here. Today I'd like to present to you my official review of The Black Room. The Black Room, where do I begin? You know, the other day I was looking through Netflix's horror section and saw this movie catch my eye called The Black Room. I liked the premise of the film, and after reading the description about this couple moving into a house and this incubus, succubus trying to feed off them, especially the female occupants of the house, I was like, ooh, this is a cool concept. But when I watched the film, it was a completely different story. I'm going to tell you that in a minute. But my general thoughts on the movie are, excuse my language, but I have to be very, very harsh and blunt here. It fucking sucked donkey balls. So the film's basically about this house that had a dark past where at this party they accidentally summoned an incubus, which is a type of demon that tries to have sex with human women, and they have the female equivalent called the succubus, which tries to seduce and have sex with human men. And the film's about like the female occupants of this house being terrorized by this creature, and this old woman trying to offer herself as a sacrifice and whatnot. But about 10 to 15 minutes of the film, things really started to go downhill quality-wise pretty quick. Like, they were doing all these unnecessary upskirt shots of the victim and all these close-ups. Like, am I watching a horror film here, or am I watching a porno? That's what I thought throughout most of the movie. Not to mention all the cliches were there. Like, and not just any cliches, like the most overused cliches imaginable. Like, after the events of the previous owners and their history, this well-off financially couple comes to the house seeing it's a for sale sign there, and the real estate agent sells it to them, says, you two are going to be so happy here, and so forth, like, and they're like, what's the catch, what's the catch? That has been done so many times before, it's getting old. I saw this in the Amityville Horror. It's just plain old. And plus the agent's looks kinda foreign looking, and we have this all-American couple, and the agent, like, she has this little bit of a sinister grin after the deal's closed. And then from there on out, it's just an over sex fest, gore fest, and the demon itself is just too over-the-top gruesome, and it literally creates this living womb inside the basement of the house with all this red ooze and stuff tapping into the victims of the house, trying to steal their life force, and then it possesses the male member of the household, the husband, and then the demon's trying to feed and get and I'm gonna spoil it for you, ends up being reborn and then quote-unquote killed at the end of the movie, only for it to manifest inside the wife after the husband and wife move back to their old apartment. And then after the credit, you think the movie's over when the credits are rolling, but, well, that's great. I sat through a shitty hour-and-a-half long movie that didn't live up to my expectations, and it's finally over, right? No. At the very end of the movie, we see that same agent with the same house where the whole movie took place in, with the for sale sign. She puts a sign up that says sold, that says, you two will be so happy here. And that's the end. And it hints at a sequel, obviously, and I'm like, after watching that, who wants a sequel to what I just saw? And once again, all throughout the movie, it's like, I don't know if I'm watching a really bad horror film or a really good softcore porn film. It's like, you can't do both. Like, I don't watch horror movies because I like seeing pretty girls and stuff. I watch horror movies to get a good scare. Usually I don't spoil movies that I watch since I'm not Smokey Dog. I don't do that shit. But I had to make an exception this time because this was a particularly bad horror movie that did not live up to my expectations. Although I admit the story concept seemed okay, and pretty good actually if you ask me. It's the execution and the overemphasis on certain things that made it the bad movie that it was. Same thing with the video game Agony that I decided not to buy at the advice of my peers. And I saw gameplay of Agony. It had a similar thing, great, very artsy concept, but poorly executed, overemphasis on certain things, and lack of a story, way too many cliches and overuse of cliches that have been done so many times, like longer than I've been alive, longer than my parents have been alive, longer than my grandparents have been alive, and so forth. But there you have it. That's my official review of The Black Room. And like I said before, it fucking sucked donkey balls, and I'm not... Just to be generous, because of the concept, just to be generous, I'm going to give it half a star out of 5. And 2 solid thumbs straight up your asshole. Once again, forgive me for my foul language, but that's how bad this movie was. Last thing I have to say before I end this video. I'm releasing my next track, titled 12 Days of Donald Trump, on SoundCloud at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow, or it will at least be up by then. It's a parody of the 12 Days of Christmas, obviously, with Donald Trump, but whether or not you hate the guy with the passion, love him, have no opinion, I assure you you're gonna laugh at least once. I also plan on re-recording some songs of mine that I previously wrote and recorded, and have that out in the coming weeks and months as well. That's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.